Sounds sounds like the hot topic these days. Hot topic. I think we're going live. We'll be there eventually. How you doing, Jeff? You ready
I'm
for
doing
this?
good.
Yeah, we're on.
A-I-A-I-O.
Heyo.
A-O, A-O, H-I-H-I-O, A-O, A-O. We are talking today about versus human intelligence and artificial intelligence. Do you know some people, I believe, have artificial intelligence if you talk to them? They just sort of like don't know what the hell they say. It's like,
What's going on
but
here?
seriously though, AI and human intelligence versus, you know, I think when I see a lot of stuff on AI is people are wondering, does AI actually have the knowledge? Or are they making some of this stuff up? You know, it's sort of like some people make up stuff just because I don't know it. And AI goes and sifts through the whole internet and everything and pulls out stuff. And if it doesn't know it, just makes it up. What do you think about that?
Well,
That was a mouthful, wasn't it?
do, do I understand the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Oh, okay. Uh, let me break it down because this is what we have to do with helping people and also other things. Here's what we were talking about earlier on is that
Hold on, let me get my AI to translate this for me.
okay. Because sometimes like the four agreements, but basically don't assume, because a lot of times people are assuming that they've done something and they've done it to the fullest extent. But you can go ask AI and it can say, give you all these other pointers that you could do. What are the right questions to ask AI? And if you ask another human, what would they tell you and what would AI tell you? And then which one's right?
So, okay, so there's some potential, things to think about when you're using AI. And well, the whole high school student typing one thing in and then they're getting an article, and are they really learning the material, or are they just kind of, getting by for the moment? And then truth be told, I mean, there's no cutting corners, right? If you don't know the material, then how much further are you going to get along? You just can't expect a computer to do things for you all the time. So, before we had gotten on this call, I think Jeff's main question was, what's the downfall to AI? Well, different angles you could take on this question is I came up with, well, are you smart enough to ask, the content or copywriter the right questions in order to get the right material? And I went back to NLP and I was like, well, the whole reason you would want to have great copy, and if you don't know what copy is actually the words that you put on the screen in order to get somebody to move. You would have to understand the psychology behind it. And I was like, well, there's four different types of people out there mainly, and you would want to hit all four of those topics, like either prestige, or if someone's really excited that that you've DJ'd or did an event for somebody who was a celebrity or something like that. And then there's the kinesthetic people, right, where they're want to make sure that you could change the mood of the room, or they want to connect with you emotionally. Now remember, that's like probably the most important one, because emotions is what makes people move to make decisions, right? Sometimes we have to go back to logic and figure out logic and reasoning, and figure out if emotions can get on board for you to make the purchase. So again, back to the four types, right? We have prestige, where people want to make sure that you've been with a celebrity or done something important, or kinesthetics, feelings, right? They want to be moved by whatever material that you put in front of them. And then we have number crunchers, who just want to, analytical people that just want to know what the numbers are. And then of course, what was it? Prestige, auditory people are more like connected to the security base, which, well, how long have you been in business? Are you going to be able to show up with extra gear? And this kind of information you need to prompt into your AI. And I can tell you right now that I have, you know, four or five different types of copy for AI engines. And Frank Kearns by far is way better than any of the other ones, because that's what he does and that's what he trains. his AI to do. So when you put in a command into it, it'll ask you multiple questions. And I had something recently come up where a DJ hit me up and he's like, "Hey, can you take a look at this, you know, press kit material that I had?" And I was like, "Okay, cool. Well, I spend actually, 40, $50 for whatever Frank Kern's AI is, and it's solid gold." So I put what he had wrote into that. And then it started asking me all these questions that wasn't in his copy. And then I got on the phone with him and got the extra information. And then I started to realize it was because of the commands that he didn't put into the whatever AI he used to create that copy. And if you don't understand the selling type, or if you don't understand how our marketer thinks, or if you don't understand what gets somebody to move, like you want all these things included, because when you hand this to somebody, that you don't know what that person is reading it, right? So it could be any one of the four, security seeker, value validator, emotional kinesthetic person, or prestige person. So you want to make sure you have all that in there so that you hit all four. And I think, Jeff, you were saying stage presenters.
Same with just think about it. And when you're a public speaker, like yourself, you have to figure out, don't have to, but it's good to figure out your audience. And a certain amount's going to be kinesthetic, a certain amount's going to be auditory, some auditory visual. And if you lose those, if you lose, so if per se, in theory, is that when you start your presentation, you have to pull in the kinesthetic people, because if you go visual or auditory too fast, you'll knock, they'll zone out on you. So you bring those in, and then you go to audio, and then you go to visual auditory. And because when you get all those in, then you've got them here, and then you want to go up and down, up and down, up and down to keep everybody in front of you. So that's the same thing what you're doing with the audience. You're This is what I call attacking from all sides. You're going, that's what AI is coming with, not only, the word, but also the visual and then the feeling. And so you're bringing all that in and then asking the right questions. And what AI seems to be really good at is finding the questions that humans don't find, because they don't have
If
all
it's
that.
trained right.
Yeah.
If you train it right. So basically, even then when you put a prompt inside of AI, you can say, what are the questions do you have for me to make this as most punctual as possible? And what Jeff was talking about with a stage presentation is that you start off with a slow pace. And when you talk, you want to make sure to evoke feelings, because what he was saying was that you want to engage the kinesthetic people first, because it takes a little time for those emotions to develop so that they can be locked into what you're doing. And then you're meeting them at where they're at, right? So it's the same thing as a sales call, where pace lead, where if you start off your presentation slow and then work your way up, then you'll catch all the other people, like the auditory and the visual people as well. And if you're not aware of these things subconsciously, they'll just skip past you. There was something else that happened at the DJ Expo too, and I can't remember exactly who said it, but basically you would place a frame. You went to one of these sales seminars, and the guy on the stage wanted you to connect with an animal. Like, if you were an animal, what would you be? So it forced you to, put your characteristics, like a lion or something. And then one of the other guys was like, "Oh, she's an ostrich," and then she got all offended with it because somebody had placed a frame on this other person. So all those attributes were, if you get offended by it, right, you're owning those attributes, right? It's like you're not understanding that's just this person's, view of how that is. So basically, I know we got to connect this all to AI. AI is a computer. It depending on what engine you have, it understands all these things, right? And when you read something, even though it's surface level, you want to make sure that you're hitting the subconscious. And you can do double binds or double negatives. You would not want to think about that, right? So when you start using these language patterns, the mind will start to, get out of whatever zone they're in, right? Because everybody's always in a hypnotic trance. You got to get them out of whatever trance they're in to be on your track, right? So the AI is smart, but if you don't know those things to tell it, then it just won't be able to generate it. And he was asking me, what's the downfall? Like, the downfall is that you have to be smart enough to tell the AI what you're looking to do. Even if you go to one of these image generators, if you don't have a really drawn out paragraph of all the different things you want on the image generator, it just won't give you what you're looking for. And I ended up spending a bunch of money trying to get a gorilla to say my company name, and I had made a few mistakes, and it gets pretty pricey after a while. You make like 10 mistakes, $3 for every mistake you make, you're up to 30 bucks, and you don't even have what you want. So I was like, I'm gonna wait till the video AI gets a little bit better. I mean, like before I start wasting money. But again, you have to be smart enough to tell it what to do, and then get it to work for your best benefit, because you can take a gorilla and have it say your name, and now you got something catchy that people want to look at. And then you can also take that and apply it to somebody else's business, and you'd be like, hey, look, this is what I made a gorilla do. It's kind of funny. Do you want to have this in your business? So, but again, human intelligence versus artificial intelligence. I mean, we're at the birth of it, right? So you have no idea where it's going to be even a year from now. Like we weren't even doing video this realistic 6 months ago. Like, right now, it's bananas. I don't know if you're scrolling your feed or not, but we got people doing crazy stuff like driving a car, smashing into a dealership, popping out of the glass and saying some vulgar language. And I'm like, where did this come from? Yeah, and AI is creating all this crazy stuff. And you want to be on the jump, right? Like you want to be up to date with whatever's going on so that you can, for marketing at least, be able to attract leads. And then you can use AI to take the information that you get, put it into your system, and all of a sudden your Zoom calendar is filling up because AI is doing all the work for you. And there was something I heard recently. It was like, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die. So that's why we're here. Let's get on top of it. Let's get, you know, things moving in the right direction. I know that was a lot, right? I went around in a whole circle.
No, no, but it's all true. I mean, I think, of course, AI is, the biggest thing out there right now. I can see.
Yeah, a lot of people are really gravitating towards it. And since it's so new, I don't, I mean, they kind of know what it is, but not really know how to implement it yet, right? So that's why I have the business where you can just make the phone call and it schedules Zoom calls for you. It'll text people for you. And then you can even schedule your social posts to go out, make websites for you. My next video that I'm going to create is going to be how to create a website with AI. Just tell it what your business is, what colors that you want, and then boom, you've got yourself a page. And then that's the whole hook when calling cold leads is like, well, you call a plumber that doesn't have a website, right? Be like, hey, look, I made this for you with your name on it. Is this something that you want? And then there you go. They've already got it in their hands. You've already materialized it for them. Like, wow. Yeah, let's get moving. Like that'll probably grab more people that are interested in that type of service who are really professional at what they do, right? They don't sit in front of a computer because they're too busy, painting houses or whatever it is that they do. They sit in front of a computer or trying to get their wife to do something for them. So that's why it just AI, get it to work for you. You just have to be able to, tell it the right questions and be able to, nudge a few things. I usually say it's like this, like the dominoes are already set. All you got to do is just walk by and tip them over.
There you go. Wow. I want to be you, Scott.
Well, I spend all my time sitting here creating content, learning AI, and here's something that I found interesting, right? So basically 2 years ago, I went ahead and talked to the owner of the one of these conventions that I go to. And, at the time I was really into hypnotic language patterns, and I was doing really good in sales. And I was like, hey, I want to teach this class. And what do you want to call it? I want to call it hypnotic language, patterns to close sales. Guy left me out of the office. Okay, I get it. How many DJ hypnotists do you know? I don't know any. Like, I mean, it might be wild, yet it still works. And even though at that time I went to a couple sales presentations this time around, and well, the guys have a lot of great things to say. It just wasn't for me because of the scarcity or the inadequacy they implant inside the person that they're talking to. And that's just, if you're going to do something that works for you, you might as well, move forward with something that makes the most sense to you, because I lived my whole life of someone telling me I was inadequate and I wasn't going to, go around spreading that around. So anyway, he laughed me out of the office, and 2 years go by, and I'm like, okay, here he is again. What do you got? So I had noticed that there wasn't a lot of AI, educational programs, right? And even my some of my like Dion or my one of my DJs in the company, he was texting me. He's like, "Where are they using? Are they?" He would send me videos. Are they using this in the seminars? Are they using this? Are they using this? It's all AI, right? Because he's super excited about it. And I go, "No, there's no AI, seminars or anybody talking about it or anything like that." So again, I got the owner right here. And okay, so he's sitting there and he's talking to somebody, right? Picture it. And somebody's chatting his ear off about something he don't want to listen to, and I could tell by his body language. Like I'm sitting in the corner patiently waiting. Maybe he could see me in the corner of his eye. He's like, "Oh shit, I gotta talk to somebody else." Right. So anyway, this guy gets done talking. He finally gets away from him, and I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm the hypnotic language guy. What are you gonna do?" What are you gonna do? Okay, Mr. Hotshot, you know all this stuff. Okay, so I had thought about it while I was talking to the other guy. I was like, I gotta break him out of a pattern because he's in a, oh man, people have been talking to me all week about stuff I don't want to talk about, right? So I stopped, like as he was getting ready to dart off, and I was like, hey man, can I just walk with you? So what did that do? Number one, like he stopped, right? He did one of these things. Like, what? So in hypnosis language, what do you call that when you do a trans something scan, like a transvarical
Also,
scan, where
that's a
you
pattern interrupt too.
and a pattern interrupt. Like it was a whole bunch of things going on just by me saying, "Can I walk with you?" But basically, he was like resetting wherever he had come from to I got his attention now, right? Like, he whatever had happened, it's gone. So we're here now. And I had to say, and then he said, "Yes, I can walk with him." So what was that? That was a compliance step, right? And that was like me asking permission. So he could have said no, and then that would have been the end of it. But no, he said yes, I could walk with him. So I started walking with him, and I was like, "Hey man, remember me from 2 years ago?" And he kind of laughed me out of the office. And he goes, he didn't quite remember. Again, that was such a short conversation that we had. And of course, when you call something out, that brings it to reality. And then I was like, well, I kind of get it. And I don't know any DJ hypnotist either. And we kind of laughed about it. But I'm like, I'm here. It's 2 years later. And then he stops and he looks at my badge. He goes, "Oh, you're with somebody that I really, have a lot of, oh, what do they say, connection with? Somebody already built
And
prestige, or
prestige,
yeah, already
like a
like
prestige,
I'm
and
literally there off of this guy's badge." He goes, "Oh, you're with this guy." I go, "Yeah, yeah, I'm with this guy." "Okay, I'll talk to you now." So between breaking him out of whatever stage he was in, getting him to actually focus on me, asking him a question, calling out something and laughing about it, and then that got me to, what is it, stage three you're at now, where he would like now talk to me. All right. So I was like, okay, back to the AI, right? We gotta swing this back around. I was like, well, do you have any holes? See, I left an open-ended question, right? Because that's how you do in sales. Do you have any holes? And then he's got a scan to tell me what he's missing. He didn't want to give me an answer because he was like, well, when you ask me holes, that's kind of a complicated question. And I was like, okay, well, since he doesn't want to come up with an answer, I know I've only got like 5 minutes with this guy, called an elevator pitch. I was like, well, I noticed you didn't have any AI in presentations. And he goes, "You know what? My guy from Canada was having issues, getting across the border, and that's why I didn't have any AI this year." I go, "Oh, it sounds like a window of opportunity to me." I tell you what, is what he says. Send me an email, and maybe we can go back and forth and see, what kind of content you have. And that's why the YouTube videos now that I'm releasing on the channel are AI generated. One more thing before he leaves, right? I already got permission to scan back and forth. We've already got a topic, and I helped him narrow it down, right? It was more like a magic trick. All the cards are there, but I'm going to focus you on this one, right? So I got that. And then after that, it was like, okay, one more compliance steps before he leaves because I want him to remember me. Well, how could you get him to remember you? Take a selfie. I know this guy hates social media for whatever reason. I don't have the definition on that. But basically, I was like, "Can I have a selfie with you?" And he goes, "Yes." So I take a selfie with him and he says, "You're not going to post that on social media, are you?" I go, "No, I'm only taking this so that you remember who I am." And then he's like, "Okay, send me an email on Monday." And then I let him go. So 2 years ago, Mr. Hypnotic Language Patterns couldn't get through the door. Now, 2 years progress of how I know how to talk to people, I got a little further. Who knows? Maybe I won't get the presentation gig, but 2 years from now, it could be a little bit better. I'll have more stuff to give. So yeah, that all brings back to the AI. Human intelligence got me to the AI presentation pitch. Did it all make sense, or did I veer off too far?
no,
Trying to talk fast, if you can't aesthetics, probably won't get along
well,
with me too well.
I think because I understand most of it, it was pretty easy to understand. Some people might not understand some of the, you know,
Yeah, talking to people that don't understand the psychology or even where I'm coming from has got to be like the most frustrating thing on the planet. But it just is what it is. I guess yeah, I want to educate the world, right? But they're not at where I'm at. So
right.
that's been hard to learn.
I would like to throw this in for both AI and the people who don't understand, and for you and me and everybody else, is basically we don't know what we don't know till we know we don't know it. And that's the process of learning. So a lot of people can't understand where you're at because they haven't studied where you're at, and they might, and there's so much more than what you said behind each one of those reasons why, because you said a compliance set, people, some people don't know what that is,
Yeah,
a
what's a
yes
compliance
set.
step?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, because
Why is
everything,
that even
right,
important? Why
because
is injecting fear into your lead not a great idea, you know?
right,
Like
and then notching it down to people, and so people can understand it at their level. And sometimes you just can't do that because you, I mean, it would just take too long. But an AI person or an AI could do it, break it down to the simplest fraction of them, because then it could explain every word you're saying. But then it gets too complicated again, I think, is so people aren't where you're at, but they don't have to be where you're at to get where you're wanting them to go, because your AI is going to do a lot of that work for them. They they don't have to know really what a compliance set or a yes set is, or a pattern interrupt, and they could study it just by saying those words in if they wanted to an AI, and it would tell them a definition of each. But
yeah, even talking to people about sometimes hypnosis, oh, that's not even real, that's just voodoo,
yeah, and
like what are you gonna do? Like
well, it's sort of like, is the world round or is it flat? You're going to have, no matter what,
Flat. Okay, yeah. Can you ask AI if the world's
you know,
flat?
I mean, I've said this to you hundreds of times, I think, is that no matter what you say, somebody's going to come up with the opposite just to disagree. And some people are just paid to do that, just to cause conflict. So what we want you to do is figure out where you want to go, and if AI is right for you, then start getting on the bandwagon. It's not. It's gonna just keep on going. This thing is not stopping. AI. I
Oh
don't.
yeah.
Yeah. So um, it's sort of like if you don't jump on it, you'll be behind even more than you are now. I mean,
And it's at a speed that I've never seen before.
so sometimes they say you have to change with the times. If you don't, then you become a turtle, and then you might be irrelevant, and then you might not even be in business.
Yeah, you
So,
know how some older generations have a hard time like turning on a computer? Well, this is like computer doctorate level. You know,
so
it's like wow. Like I'm having a hard time keeping up with it.
right, and give us like five. I can come up with five, so you can come up with five benefits to AI.
Well, number one, it's a time saver. Like once you've already prompted something, you like I did like 5 social posts today. It's already prompt, so I could just say Allie and Chad wedding family pic, and then it'll spit out everything, including Instagram handles, hashtags. It knows everything that I want. It's got the backlog of everything that I put into it for like the last 3 years. Another great thing is it has the memory, right? It just you could just keep going with it. Number two. This is a fun one. Like I have Gronk and I trained it to be a kindergartner. It talks to my daughter. Like she'll ask for stories and it'll just tell you stories. So it's like entertainment. But I also told the AI when it talks to my daughter to educate her, like it can't go further unless she knows, the sky is blue or something like that. So it can also be an educator. Another great thing is spell checker, grammar corrector. It helps with the copy. It can help you, generate ideas. I can just go in there and be like, okay, what do I want to talk about today? Or what ideas would be good based on the content that I have? You could just, put a video in there and be like, oh, what's another What's another topic to talk about? What was that? Three? Two more?
Sure.
uh Upscale image generator. Like I could put a blurry image in and it'll just take it and make it clear. Or like, I can have it create ads, kind of, sort of. Well, basically what I'm doing right now is that I'm creating a thumbnail from Leonardo AI, right? So I put in a human mind versus a computer mind, and that'll be the image for our thumbnail here today, on top of me putting into Canva and editing it a little bit. Audio, like I get text into audio, and I have another AI that'll make it sound like a energetic voice. And then when I put it into my Canva, the AI will regenerate the captions. So we have some captions at the bottom of the video, or however I want it to look. Another benefit is that I have vid IQ. It'll tell me what the most hot topic, trending things, or how to title a YouTube video in order to get more subscribers or more views or end up in the search. And that's not five or six there. Did I take them all?
Ah, that's great. I mean, then you could go on and on and on. It's just that there's lots of benefits to learning AI and getting to the next step. So the question is, AI going to take over?
Yeah, I mean, eventually this intelligence is going to go into an Android, right?
Yeah. So
So what does that mean?
here's off subject, but could AI help you with your app, your the app you have? I mean, you were working on your app for.
Yes, I do have an app, and I'm sure it can help. I don't know how to get that to help.
Okay.
I'm sure the guys that I hire know how to make it work.
No, no, I was just that was an off question right offhand. I was just thinking
Yeah, I'm not
because
there yet.
because we were talking about that great app that you've been working on, and that for all the people who have
Yeah,
weddings.
wedding DJs. So basically, here's another thing too. Remember we were talking about, like, explaining people on the same level. Like not many people understand what a lead magnet is or the power of reciprocity. Uh, so, that becomes a little frustrating.
Hey, you
And
never
yeah, you
know.
you want to
Like,
be the educator, like, oh yeah, if you're just offered a free app and just put yourself forward, then it'll come back to you. Well, I haven't found that DJs have that mindset, so I've been, just spreading the good word, hoping it catches on.
that.
I
There,
believe it. And that was one of the things that moved me. I was like, there is no lead magnet in this industry, so I created one. And when you create stuff, you're doing something, right? Versus other people, you could sit there and complain that you're not getting any gigs. Well, what have you done to add value to your service? And that was something else that I had a tone when I was when I was in Atlantic City. It's another, I don't know, a psychology thing. Oh, I used to post on social media a certain way. Now this other guy posts like me, but nobody was doing that before me. In marketing, we find out what works and then tell you guys so that you can copy that, where other people, what I heard, consistent tone. Oh, this guy taking my idea. He's posting just like me. Now I had uplights. Now he's getting uplights. Like everybody would be like worried about other people doing things, where I'm just sitting here going, hey, it's an open book. You want to learn? Like, I'll show you everything that I'm doing. It's a That would be like a scarcity mindset versus a mud abundancy mindset. Elon says he doesn't even put patterns on most of his stuff. He says patterns constrain creative growth.
are you saying patents
Patents,
or patterns?
patents. Yeah, he doesn't put patents on a lot of his
Okay,
stuff because he says it constrains growth.
right. And so, in theory, someone like you who's keeping going forward, by the time somebody gets to where you're at, you're already somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah.
So that's the mindset that, by the time somebody steals your stuff, you're already onto something new, and you just keep on going and worry about worry about you and your people and not so much about everybody else.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, you can't control other people. Like, is that the goal? To control other people, to tell them what they can and can't do? Like, you'd hope someone would want to be fair with you, like if I say I'm going to pay you to be at a gig, I hope you'd hold your word. But if you wanted to go out and build your own business and you end up being motivated by how I operate mine, uh, I mean, if you wanted to give me a nod, like, oh yeah, I learned this from Scott, that'd be great. You don't have to, but at the same time, it's like that's connected to pride, right? What is pride? One of the seven deadly sins. Uh,
Also, reciprocity, a lot of people believe in, and some don't. So we got the givers and the takers. We don't need to go down that road, but givers and
yeah, it's like I gotta hold on and constrain everything and control everything. Yeah, that's too much work. I would rather just focus on what I got going on rather than to control everybody, because that's a never-ending battle. And how far are you going to get with that? I'm sure there's some people out there that can go pretty far with that, but that's not for me. I'd rather just keep creating stuff and helping people. You just want
yeah.
to constrain people? Do you want people to grow, or do you just want to hold them back?
Well,
Not
AI is
to-
going to help.
yeah, you, things are becoming easier. Like the whole reason I didn't like DJing is because music just became so available to everybody. Like I would go and get records and do all this stuff, and I got really upset about, just anybody thought they could be a DJ because they had music and they didn't put the blood, sweat, and tears into it. So I had to pivot how I look at it in order to find freedom or peace of mind or a different way to grow. I guess I brought that to as far as I wanted to, and that was about it. So you can sit there and get mad that, the whole world has access to music, or you can take your skills and become a marketer or maybe helping other people like a psychiatrist or something like that. But, holding people back, I mean, what's I don't really see a point in that. Oh, I'm better than you. And then you go to comparisons, and that's where depression comes in. Oh, this other person got this gig, and I wonder what they did to get it. And, you know, I know if the person's, ethical or not. Like, a lot of that going on too. There was a lot of talk about some people in the local community about how unethical of some people that I no longer work with because they were unethical, and I just find out more stories, and I was like, not surprised because track record. AI couldn't tell you that. Or maybe they could. I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I guess next week we'll talk about something, maybe AI again, but maybe by that time things will have changed. Who knows?
Yeah. So again, since I did my presentation with the owner of the convention that I went to, a lot of things will be now AI, so that when my follow-up emails come in, they'll be AI generated for the DJ community because it was a DJ convention that I went to. And if you guys have any questions, drop a line down below. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe. AI content coming out. And if you like anything on the DJ company, you want to learn how I did it, I mean, that's what the videos will be. All these different ones. And I use Go High Level for marketing now. So there'll be a lot of those videos as well.
They could have a whole education just watching all your videos.
Yeah. We'll see if anybody watches this one.
Someone will.
There you go. Tag a friend.
Tag a
All
friend.
right. I think that's all we got for today.
Have a good day, everybody.
All righty,
Be
guys.
happy.